All right, so we got our first in with Wrigley. So now we got him taking food reliably, wanting the food. So we got our foot in the door. So my strategy with that is first, just start offering free samples. Dog training and sales are basically the same thing. Because I'm trying to sell him on 4 behaviors. Come to me, walk by me, lay by me, and jump on something. And I start building that with free samples. The same way they got me to buy the sandwiches at the mall, at the food court, same strategy they have at Sam's Club, hand out the free samples to get him saying, okay, I'll stick around you, you got my attention. Once we start getting this desire a little bit more, then we can start doing something with it. So now that he wants the food, we got our foot in the door, we just start letting him to kind of start figuring out. So when he sits like that, I pay food. And we want him to start figuring out how to work me. So this is probably backwards on how he was trained before and how a lot of people do it. This would be considered free shaping. So I free shape by letting the dog pick the behavior and letting him start seeing benefit in behaviors he picks. So we want him to start correlating that sit with success. Because I look at it as if I start giving him commands right now, and I say sit or lay down or roll over or whatever, and he doesn't do it, well then what do I do? It's like, well we usually start chanting the word over and over and begging him to do it. Or, I grab him by the butt and I push his butt down and make him do it. But neither of those two strategies is making us who we want to be in his mind, which is, I don't gotta listen to these people, they just chant words all the time. Or, oh, here they come to start dominating me into positions I don't want to be in. So I just look at it as you're kind of setting yourself up for failure if you're starting with commands. So what I do is let the dog start figuring out how to work me. My whole strategy in dog training is how do I get the dog to start making the choice on his own? Because I look at it as if Wrigley comes up to me on his own free will and chooses to sit, and that decision he made is successful, well, that's going to be a behavior he repeats. Because dogs don't know the difference between good or bad behavior. They just know, is this successful to me or not? That's how they're looking through the world at. So I'm just trying to lay breadcrumbs down the path to success I want him to do. And we would start with the sit. The sit's a good bridge to the down. The sit's one of the things dogs offer most. It's usually the first thing everybody teaches a dog. So it's the first thing they usually default to. Once I can get him sitting, I'm going to try to turn that sit into a down as fast as I can. Because the decisions I want him making are always come to me, walk by me, lay by me, me. Everything's going to should be revolving around me. How do I get the dog to want to be by me? And we got to get him to want to do it. Because if he wants to do it, that's going to be something he finds success in being by me. That's going to be repeatable. So I free shape everything. Any behavior I teach, I just start free shaping and letting him start trying to train me. The dog's always developing the strategy on what works best for them. So I'm just trying to make it easier for him of like, hey, figure out how to get the thing. And once he's like, oh, well, this sit seems to work better than everything else, that's when we can start doing something with it, when he starts seeing correlations. So we want him, sit usually works a little better when you're standing up, but it's getting him, we're starting to see. Let's say he jumped on me or something. I wouldn't scold him and tell him no. I would just be a statue. And I want him to start figuring out his best path to success. So once we start getting the sit, we're going to really be working on this sit and trying to transform it into a down. And I do that by just paying the food lower and lower. So I let him offer the sit, I pay the food low, and eventually we want him to have the light bulb moment of, wait a second, I could get the same amount of food for even less work by just laying here. And we want to transform that sit into a down. But for right now, we'll just take what we can get. But eventually it's going to start being pair food with the left side. This is going to start being my heel. Then you're going to start shaping the heel and kind of getting a turn in there. All this is going to be down the road. We're just now getting our foot in the door with them, but it's going to be free shape everything. And what we're trying to do is start getting him into the down, offering the down, But he's working. We got our foot in the door. We got something of him saying, okay, you got something I want. How do I get that? Now the mind, the wheels are starting to turn in the mind. So we got our foot in the door. There's a big step for him, because when you get these nervous, apathetic dogs, you got to kind of do it gently, and not just start pushing your way into it, because you can really ruin things really fast by forcing nervous dogs to do things they don't want to do. You can spoil everything. So it's like I would want him to try to figure out strategies. It's like throw stuff at the wall. See how that jumping works out for you. See how that sitting works out for you, until he starts saying, yeah, this jumping's not doing anything for me. The sit's way more valuable than the jump. Eventually, we want that jumping working for us, and we're going to kind of get him jumping on things. There's a lot to this, and I'll be explaining this day by day. But I just wanted to give you the update on, hey, we got our foot in the door. We got something to work with them, and now the ball's starting to move in the right direction.